Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of Market Check brought to you by BB. My name is Max. I'm the CEO of Because Bitcoin, joined today by our CFO, Tucker, also known as Hagrid, and one of our top analysts and portfolio managers here at BB, Big Louie T, also known as Big Louie Meat Stick. Two absolute giga chads. We're going to be joined by Tommy, the quant, as well. He should be on, I think, in about 10 minutes, roughly, so we can look forward to that. But in the meantime, we're going to have a great start to the show, guys. Do us a solid. Hit that like button. Call your grandma, call your mom, call your sister, call your mailman, call somebody. Tell them that, hey, here's the link. Market Check is on right now. Stocks are nuking and crypto's holding up. You can't miss this one. Guys, this type of price action makes me feel all warm and fuzzy inside, right? In crypto, for like the past year, we have been the biggest losers of every trading session. It's like we pump, we immediately sell off. We get good news, we nuke. We get bad news, we nuke more. Equities pump, crypto drops. It's like we just can't win, but not today. Today we win. Today we are not the biggest losers. The NASDAQ is in free fall. The S&P is in free fall. We're on the brink of getting some circuit breakers. But Pepe is up 5.5% on the day today, and Bitcoin does not look like it wants to quit. I love it. I absolutely love it. I don't love that there's people in pain because their portfolios are down, but I love that after the beating that we've taken the past year, just nonsense in our markets. Finally, we're holding strong and showing signs of life that not even the greatest companies to ever exist throughout the history of time and publicly traded markets can withstand. We are withstanding. And I love it. It makes me feel warm and fuzzy inside. Let me enjoy it today. I'm smiling big today. Finally, crypto bros have something to smile about, even if it just is we're not nuking, right? But I want to talk more about that today on the show with Tucker and with Louie. I want to talk to you guys about this. We were speculating yesterday because we saw something similar. NASDAQ was down about 5% on the day, roughly. I don't know exactly what it closed at, but a horrible day. VIX was at like 27, 28. Bitcoin and crypto were holding relatively strong, not following. And we said, hey, maybe, just maybe, this is something similar to Q4 of 2023. Is it possible that crypto led the dump and now it's going to lead the recovery, right? We took our medicine weeks ago and we're good, right? We took our medicine, we're good. We're just going to chill and wait for global markets to find their floor and hopefully recover, right? We weren't so sure about it, but I'm telling you guys, I am seeing a lot more reason to kind of double down on that notion after today, where equities once again are limiting down, not just our market, but foreign markets, foreign indexes as well, limiting down, fear widespread. And guess what's holding strong? Crypto. I feel as though there is no good reason or explanation for the NASDAQ and for the S&P to be down the percentages that they are over the past 2-3 sessions, and for crypto to still be holding its floor. I don't think there's any good reason to argue against the bottom is in, we're holding strong. We're just going to put in a monster bounce as soon as equities put in a bounce here, right? I don't think you can really at this point argue that that's not happening. I don't think the argument of, oh, wait till crypto catches up to equities, I don't think that argument's valid anymore. I think you had a chance to nuke crypto today, but the fact that we're seeing a bid across the board is telling me, okay, I think markets are now going to start pricing in early more rate cuts and maybe even a transition into QE, and that's why we're seeing this bid with crypto. But I'd love to know how you guys are interpreting it. I do, because I look at this pair, right? Bitcoin SPX, the Tucker you have pulled up here. This doesn't look like a chart that's about to imminently start nuking. It looks like we front ran the equities dump and we're good to go. But tell me if I'm wrong, right? I'd love to know how you guys are feeling about it.
I think you're not wrong.
Is that Say
quick
that.
thing though. Powell does talk in about 10 minutes, which we
You
should
see,
get some.
I'm sorry to cut you out. There's a headline that just came out on CNBC.
Hmm.
Breaking news: President Donald Trump says Fed Chair Powell should cut interest rates and stop playing politics. Here we go.
Oh my gosh,
Really?
bro.
He had to do that right before he speaks?
I mean, it sounds like he's fighting the Fed.
Who could have foreseen that was going to happen? That's so unlike anything Trump has ever done. Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah. Balls in the
That was
Fed's court.
sarcastic, by the way, guys.
I
Just
know.
for yeah.
Balls in the Fed's court.
Yeah.
Sorry, Tucker. You're about to cook. I just wanted to tell you that headline came out because that was.
Oh, I know, and I wanted to just tell you that he talks in 10 minutes because, I mean, I feel like we're gonna get some on-show volatility once again. But yeah, I mean, it's hard to I don't know. We're going into a weekend, obviously, right? So, I'm gonna stay somewhat cautiously optimistic, but yeah, it does seem that we front ran the dump and now equities are dumping and we're just hanging out. So that's good. I think that's good. Obviously, this is the BTC SPX pair. We can look at it against QQQ or IWM or whatever, but actually IWM might be interesting.
IWM is getting abused today.
Yeah, no, I know. That's why I wanted to pull up the pair. I mean, yeah, I think
that looks very bullish to me.
I mean, yeah, it's just Bitcoin IWM just kind of goes up and to the right. Like
it just genuinely looks like that thing's about to start its next leg higher.
This is like 105K Bitcoin right here is basically what that would be.
Yeah.
Structure, but
I love that we swept all those lows too. Like, can you draw from that low right there? Yeah, like draw from the lowest low right there, the first one. Draw a line. Like, I love that we took that out too. That's really clean.
yeah.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
And then maybe a diagonal across the highs. Maybe if you're up for it.
A diagonal, the little breakout.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. However you want to.
Yeah, right. I like that.
Yeah, the back test, bang. Yeah.
Dude, it looks clean. I really think this is going to be like a Q4 2023 type of thing. But we'll see. We'll see. It's just like there's just no good reason why. I mean, the NASDAQ and the S&P are having two of their worst back-to-back sessions since COVID. And crypto is just like completely insulated from it right now.
Mm-hmm.
You can't really argue that like wait till crypto catches up to stocks. I'm like, that's actually kind of the opposite. What we've seen during, historically these times of turbulence is Bitcoin leads the dump, Bitcoin leads the recovery. Mr. Meat Stick, I'm hungry. Help me out here.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about this. I mean, it's been a while since we talked about it. We were talking about it about a month ago where historically what we see, Bitcoin and crypto, am I a little blurry right now? What's going on here? Front run the tops and they front run the bottoms, right? And I've shown examples in 2023 for the S&P where S&P had a first initial nuke, bounced, rolled over a second time, went for another 4, 5, 6% to the downside more. And Bitcoin had already found its floor. And while the S&P was doing that second drop in 2023, Bitcoin put in a 50% ripper to the upside. And that's kind of what I was pointing to about a month ago. And now we're seeing that, right? We're seeing the second rollover come out of this drop out of equities quite fast, right? Quite a fast drop. But we're really seeing, Bitcoin and crypto hold up very well for the circumstances given. And it's just, showing again that, we front run these moves on equities and as well as, not from the topping standpoint, but also from the bottoming standpoint. So, and again, I tweeted this on Wednesday and I was half joking, but I'm half serious where like, there's no tariffs on Bitcoin and crypto, guys. This is a macro global trade issue. And sure, Bitcoin and crypto are correlated to these asset classes. But more than ever now, Bitcoin and crypto is now distinguished from the rest of these asset classes, right? These crypto assets have nothing to do, with this global trade issue, right? This is a global company issue. Like companies globally have to deal with this. Countries have to deal with this. U.S. companies have to deal with this, and can have some backlash. Bitcoin and crypto, not so much, right? Not so much. There's nothing that really affects Bitcoin and crypto other than, overall macroeconomics. But I really do think we could see a scenario where, I know it sounds crazy, but where Bitcoin and crypto as an asset class become more of a uncorrelated, more or less safe haven for people to store their money right now, and kind of hedge themselves against this environment.
Louis, you said something profound this morning on the Discord call with our community.
Many such
You
cases.
said farts are not. What did you say?
No tariffs on farts.
That's what it was. Yeah, that was profound.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're right.
Yeah.
You're totally right.
Yeah, and by that I mean fart coins, guys. Fart coins.
So,
I mean,
ooh, an FOMC meeting date, enjoy, or
Of course.
So, okay, so Tucker, I guess, and Louis, whoever, right? DXY is puking.
Yeah, look at that.
Yields puking.
Mhm.
We talked about a potential bounce at this little spot yesterday on DXY, right? Makes sense. But generally still puking. But we haven't seen those effects immediately translate over into higher prices for crypto, which, as we know, week by week doesn't matter too much. But higher time frame, very strong negative correlation between DXY and crypto. DXY up, crypto down, and vice versa, right? What we're seeing right now is maybe a lag. Do we think that now is the time for DXY to kind of continue its plunge down and finally see that long-awaited, rocket higher for crypto off the back of a weakening dollar, yields dropping, more cuts being priced in, and maybe, just maybe, QT stopping and QE transitioning given what equities are doing? Do we think now is going to be that transition? Anybody's free to answer, of course.
I mean, it's as good a time, as any, right? I don't know. It's definitely bold to call for that transition, right? Like that's a big deal. But I don't know. I don't know. We should pull up the correlation coefficient. Honestly, that's what we should do.
should we like pull up Jerome Powell right now? Kind of watch him in the back or listen to him in the background? I feel like that might be.
Let's do this. Let's do. Boom.
I think that's kind of something I want to listen to here.
Do you want to pull it up, Louis?
Yeah, let me see if I could find it here.
Tucker, I made one of these that colors the candles, man. Let me share with you my my premiere version of it.
Wow.
You wouldn't get it.
It's not live yet. So when it goes live, we can't split screen this, can we?
No. I don't think so.
Or maybe what I could do is I could pull it up on my phone and we can listen to the audio while we chart. Maybe that's better.
I mean, it looks like as it gets more correlated, that's good. Right? You kind of want to see, yeah.
All right, hang on. Let me show you.
You know what I'm saying, though?
This will create a nice little visual.
Kind of want this thing to bottom.
Manage access. Hang around. All right, Tucker, pull up the one that I just shared with you. It's better.
What's it called?
Correlation coefficient. You might, I don't know, maybe you need to refresh your page. Yeah, top, up, 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 up. It starts with a C, so it's right there.
Oh shit.
So it'll color the candles for you.
Hang on, let me get rid of it.
I think you did with Bitcoin, so you need to change it to yields. So it'll color the candles based on the, and turn off your borders on your candles, like on the chart. So like, yeah, turn off your borders.
I did.
So it's the same correlation coefficient indicator, but it candles the colors. So it just helps visualize a little bit better.
I mean, I think you want to see it. I don't know. I think you want to see it going up. There's not as much signal, honestly. Like, I kind of like the
Because
other one.
we've been in this weird regime for a while where we've actually been moving, like it's been a positive correlation, right? So like Dixie up, Bitcoin up, yields up, Bitcoin up, but like longer term in previous bull markets, it's been the opposite, more or less.
So look, I mean, you kind of want the thing to go up, right? Like,
But maybe
yeah.
look at a previous bull market, right? Because I feel like this has been like a weird time, but maybe I'm wrong on it.
I mean, when did this thing bottom? I guess you can get rid of this. Yeah, no, this is what you want the correlation to be tighter for sure. But yeah, let me. This. Yeah, you want the correlation to be tight.
Can you guys hear that?
No. Are you playing something?
I have the Powell speech. Let me try. I'll pull it up on my phone. Maybe that'll work. So we just at least have it in the background.
Clearer, we will have a better sense of their implications for the economy and for monetary policy.
Can you guys hear that?
Looking across,
Can you share your screen so we can see it?
Yeah.
I'll do that then.
And not as significant.
Pull it up here. Where is it? I just had it. Here it is.
I did hear it for a second.
No, I heard it for sure.
In unemployment.
Can you guys hear that?
Often accompanied
Yep.
monetary policy.
Can you turn it up a little bit or no?
More recently, progress toward our 2% inflation.
Let me switch my mic. It might be better. Hold on.
Total PCE prices rose 2.5% over the 12 months ending in February. Core PCE
That's fine.
prices, which exclude the volatile food and energy categories, rose 2.8%. Looking ahead, higher tariffs will be working their way through our economy and are likely to raise inflation in coming quarters. Reflecting this, both survey and market-based measures of near-term inflation expectations have moved up.
Still pretty quiet.
By most measures, longer-term inflation expectations, those beyond just the next few years, remain well anchored and consistent with our 2% inflation goal. We remain committed to returning inflation sustainably to our 2% objective.
A little better.
Turning to monetary policy, we face a highly uncertain outlook with elevated risks of both higher unemployment and higher inflation. The new administration is in the process of implementing substantial policy changes in 4 distinct areas: trade, immigration, fiscal policy, and regulation. Our monetary policy stance is well positioned to deal with the risks and uncertainties we face as we gain a better understanding of the policy changes and their likely effects on the economy. It is not our role to comment on those policies. Rather, we make an assessment of their likely effects, observe the behavior of the economy, and set monetary policy in a way that best achieves our dual mandate goals. We have stressed that it will be very difficult to assess the likely economic effects of higher tariffs until there is greater certainty about the details, such as what will be tariffed, at what level, and for what duration, and the extent of any retaliation from our trading partners. While uncertainty remains elevated, it is now becoming clear that tariff increases will be significantly larger than expected. And the same is likely to be true of the economic effects, which will include higher inflation and slower growth. The size and duration of these effects remains uncertain. While tariffs are highly likely to generate at least a temporary rise in inflation, it's also possible that the effects could be more persistent. Avoiding that outcome would depend on keeping longer-term inflation expectations well anchored, on the size of the effects, and on how long it takes for them to pass through fully to prices. Our obligation is to keep longer-term inflation expectations well anchored, and to make certain that a one-time increase in the price level does not become an ongoing inflation problem. We'll continue to carefully monitor the incoming data, the evolving outlook, and the balance of risks. We're well positioned to wait for greater clarity before considering any adjustments to our policy stance. It is too soon to say what will be the appropriate path for monetary policy. We understand the benefits of a solid economy where workers can find jobs and inflation is low and predictable. We also understand that elevated levels of unemployment or inflation can be damaging and painful for communities, families, and businesses. That is why we at the Fed will continue to do everything we can to achieve our maximum employment and price stability goals. Thank you, and I look forward to your questions.
So same.
So he literally said nothing.
He said nothing. Yeah, he said nothing.
Wow, that's great. I mean, I don't think any of us expected him to come in here and be like, emergency 50 basis point cut with QE, you know, like, but he really didn't say anything, man. He literally just said, like, we're going to stick to our mandate of 2%, and it's too early to tell if monetary policy needs to be adjusted, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I don't see anything like nuking off of that.
No, I don't either.
How's your week been?
Tommy, hello.
Fine, thank you.
Hello.
Tommy, when emergency cuts?
So far, so
When
good.
QE?
That's a great question.
Yes, thank you so much for being here and taking
Fed
the
is not
questions.
being accommodative still.
Talking about the
I guess we'll
economy
just
as
kind of
being
have to see
very
how
strong,
things go from
it's
here.
characterized, inflation is coming down, employment as being very strong still.
They don't do something that VIX is
However,
gonna
President
do
Trump,
some nasty,
earlier this
nasty
week when asked
things.
about the market volatility we've been
All right,
seeing,
let's get this off
said
the screen.
that
We're
the
not learning
volatility was,
anything.
quote, to be expected.
Whatever.
This is a patient that was very sick.
Let's get back to the
Inherited
charts.
a terrible
There's
You're not studying, Max?
I got
Max?
yeeted.
Maybe we'll get something under questions now. Yeah, more same nonsense. They're gonna wait too long to do anything like normal.
Per usual. Sweet Jesus.
okay. So when's the next FOMC? What's the date of it?
Early
May.
May.
May 7th.
Early May. Oh shit.
Hang on. It is May 21st. Is that right?
I thought it was the 7th.
Dude,
I
if
did,
if this keeps on through
but
May,
is this wrong? May 21st.
no, it's definitely not.
I
But
think
do
it's
they,
like
they don't
first
need
week
to
of May.
wait for the meeting to cut, though, right?
No. Well, if they do it in between meetings, then it's an emergency, technically, or whatever. So
Can Janet Yellen do something?
She can go to prison at the end of the cycle, but
dude, look, we should
Tommy.
check in on the RRP, the Yellen index.
If Janet Yellen goes to prison, Tommy, you're officially the GOAT, man. That's the best call I've ever seen.
What was the other one? Oh, the TGA. But what's the ticker?
I think the question is like, how many firms right now are looking at this Friday going, We need to offload all of our risk going into the weekend because I'm afraid of what happens Monday.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we need this to go back up. That's what needs to happen.
Well, it's nuking.
Yeah, it is. Bitcoin doing okay? Yeah.
The Bitcoin strength is pretty crazy. I almost like hate to say that.
Going into a weekend, it's okay, Tommy. It's okay. You can say it.
Yeah, I mean, maybe they end up doing some sort of raid on the upper 70s, but as long as that's not breaking, then I think this relative strength is exactly that, right? Relative strength.
We were talking about that, like right when we got on the stream, Tommy, that if you had asked me or told me, hey, on like Monday, hey, Max, NASDAQ on Thursday is going to go down 5%, and then the next day, like another 4%. What do you think Bitcoin's trading at? I would have been like 74.
At least. Yeah,
Yeah.
probably lower than that.
Yeah. So I think at this point, it's fair to say like Bitcoin most likely, given what we're seeing, front ran the equities dump and is also front running a bottom, similar to what happened in Q4 of 2023. Might be early to say that, but there is some serious strength on Bitcoin. Like there's no other reason why crypto should be holding up the way that it is, given how equities are trading, unless the case is that we front ran the dump and have also front ran a bottom.
Wait, is gold nuking too?
Oh.
My. That's a big drop.
It's a huge drop.
Big drop for gold.
So yeah, gold was due for a pullback though.
Silver.
I'm surprised silver, man. Like
silver just gave up its entire bull market, man. Look at that.
Silver is the ETH of precious metals.
Yeah, literally.
Silver is
calm, rational analysis.
Yeah.
And also of stability. That's really what the business that we're in is providing: financial and macroeconomic stability.
What is this guy waffling about?
Is he saying
I can
anything
still
or
see. I mean, we could just be like setting up for a little sweep of these local lows on Bitcoin and ETH. But I think anybody that is expecting us to run like the lows all the way down at 77 or 76K, they need to be lowering their targets, right? Because I'm seeing it's kind of like, well, you're seeing all these tidy. If we break that low, we're only going to sell off like 10 or 15% more than those prices. I doubt that's the case. You're probably going to sell a whole lot harder because at that point you'd be catching up to the move in equities.
Yeah, wait, we should mute that. We should mute that.
Uncertainty will decline. Right now, there's a lot of uncertainty about
who's listening to that? Is that Louis?
where all that's going to sort out, the forms it will take. What the
Hey, Louis.
Hey, what's up?
A year from now.
Can you mute that?
Yeah, sorry.
Oh, you're
Just trying
good.
to see if he said anything in the question part, but it doesn't look like it.
Just yapping.
Yeah.
Dude, this is just crazy. crazy downtrend.
I think it's been wait, what does the Bitfinex open interest look like? I wonder.
Tommy, have you seen Trump's statements to Powell this morning?
Yeah, he's not happy with Jerome.
No, he's not.
I feel like Trump is going to win this, man. There's no better schoolyard bully than Donald Trump, man. He's going to get what he wants.
I tend to agree, honestly. I'm not quite sure what's going to happen. Like maybe the 10-year puts in a bounce here, but maybe it just keeps nuking.
TLT looks super bullish here, man.
I know.
Yes, it does.
Look at that perfect gap fill, like at the low, and then just scooped it out of there.
I know. Look at that.
Bitfinex is bidding.
I like that.
Bidding what?
Bitcoin.
What about ETH?
I prefer not to speak.
I prefer not to.
If I speak, I'm in trouble.
They are not bidding ETH.
The VIX is still at 40, man. They need to crush that. That's not good.
Yeah, I mean, if you get stocks
All
to
right,
limit down
we got an
territory,
update here. They just put out a Fed's rate path. First cut June, second cut July, third cut September, fourth cut October, fifth cut December.
25s.
It doesn't say, but I think I'm just looking at probabilities. Actually, this isn't. But first cut in June is 100% certain, and then second cut in July is 99% certain. Third cut September 94% certain.
What's the May probability?
0 probably, right?
I don't see it. It starts at June. It starts at June. So
Go to. Hang on, I'm going to Fed Watch. Because May would be interesting. Yeah, May 7th meeting, 41% probability of a cut. That's interesting. I think we're going to see that creep up probably.
I agree.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree 100%. You're probably going to see a shit ton of rate cuts before June at this rate. In June.
You mean a shit ton?
I don't know. I mean, I think the 10-year looks absolutely awful. I mean, how long have we compared the 10-year to the Bitcoin top? From spring 2021.
Yeah, no, I know. It's yeah, I mean that's probably it. That's probably it for the 10-year.
It's absolutely fried. I mean, if you just want to throw the Bitcoin fractal over that, even I do not buy for a second that there's only going to be one rate cut in June.
I mean, dude, the Mag 7's down 25% from the all-time high. Looking at all of them together, it's like we're kind of getting into that territory, you know.
It's like everything, you know, foreign markets getting crushed, U.S. markets getting crushed beyond just the Mag 7. I mean, you're starting to see some assets, not just Bitcoin, show some relative strength, right? Like some of these other ones that have been kind of beaten down early on, rebounding, like a Nike, for example, showing some relative strength today. Dollar General is another that's been showing strength. I mean, these are kind of like anecdotal ultimately, but you know, I do think that you are seeing some, I mean, hopefully some signs of reversal, or else the VIX is about to blow through 45. And in that case, you know, who knows what's going to happen. But yeah, I mean, does that not look like Bitcoin right before it completely waterfalled?
It looks like that thing's headed to 2.5%, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do not buy for a second that they are only doing one cut into June.
Yeah, that looks abysmal, man.
How about GME up 5% on the day?
Dude, Pepe up 5%. Doge up 3%.
Give me 2.5 the 10-year.
Help me make sense of it. Is it just people basically forecasting like lower interest rates and QE, and they're like, fuck it, let's just get in front of this and bid shit coins because they're going to pump?
Well, GME specifically is going to be more and more linked to Bitcoin now. So
honestly, I think this is where you start getting really bullish crypto. Like if this 10-year collapses and we get some cuts, because it's what the 10-year looks like, man. This does not look like they're going to hold out for another 2 months. Not at all.
No, they got to do something, or else they ruin everything that they've been trying to do.
Well, I mean,
well, not really, but they got to. It's that, or let everything go to shambles. So
they won't let everything go to shambles, man.
Yeah.
I mean, everything's going to shambles, man. Like they're not. I'm telling you, it's Trump's overreach in dictating Fed policy, which is supposed to be an independent branch from anything public official. Like it's not supposed to be influenced by the president at all. The fact that you have Trump posting on Truth Social basically like slandering Powell, saying he's too slow to act always and he should stop trying to be a politician and cut rates. It's like the writing is on the wall here, you know. The writing, it is clear as day what's happening, in my opinion. You're about to see things get a little bit worse, and then you're going to see. I mean, like I said, there's no better schoolyard bully than Trump, and I'm telling you right now, Powell is public enemy number one right now. He's going to be, as the pressure gets applied to Trump, guess who he's going to take that out on and blame? Powell. These aren't my tariffs. These are not the problems. It's Powell. He's doing the wrong thing. He's going to divert all of that negative attention to Powell until he gets what he wants. It's going to happen. It's clear as day. I don't believe that Powell is going to be firm enough on his, we remain committed to our long-term target of 2%. I think he's going to give in and he's going to bend the knee to whatever Trump is bullying him into. More rate cuts, probably QE starting up by summertime. I find it very unlikely that they actually remain committed to their long-term target of 2%. Honestly, I think they're going to get bullied into pivoting pretty quickly here.
Yeah, I do too. I don't think he's going to hold out, you know.
Dude, you don't want Trump. You don't want to be Trump's main focus when his policy is crashing global markets, and he's going to blame the whole thing on Powell, man. The whole thing. I think we all kind of know that like inflation's not going to be back at 2%. I think like the fact that it's under 3% is kind of the new normal. And like you all kind of know that like they're patting each other on the back going, all right, we were at 9.1 a couple of years ago. Nice job, guys. Great work.
Yeah, they
Just
can't
keep saying 2%, but it's really like that's not real.
They can't say that. They can't change their long-term target of 2%. They just have to leave it where it is.
He needs to just keep saying our long-term target's 2%. We remain committed. We're data dependent, and then basically put in policy that's the complete opposite of that, which is obviously going to ramp inflation back up. But it's like what I've always said, and I think this is the truth, is there's one thing that the world is completely united on. Besides the Antarctic Treaty, it's that the stock market needs to go straight up in a straight line, man. Everybody, poor people, middle class people, workers, managers, CEOs, everybody, politicians, the Ponzi must go on. They're not going to make any substantial changes to that, man. They're not going to suddenly let this market trapdoor. It's just, I don't buy it.
They're going to let the 10-year trapdoor, though.
They are going to let the 10-year trapdoor.
We'll see how the market reacts to the trapdoor on the 10-year. I think that's the question mark for me. I feel like we just kind of need maybe some concessions on tariffs, and there's some upside risk. But yeah, this is definitely. I feel like it's become a joke. Like interesting spot.
Yeah, big spot.
Tommy, what do you gun to your head by end of summer? Let's just say end of August. What's the 10-year trading at? Gun to head.
By the end of August?
All the pressure's on you. Finger on trigger. End of August.
I mean, probably like 2.5% to 3%, somewhere in that range.
So you're really expecting like this entire quarter to be just a capitulation in yields?
In yields, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think obviously when those rate cuts happen, things like the yen are going to really outperform the dollar. I'm feeling really confident about that positioning right now.
Yeah, let me what is
Because
it?
if you pull up like FXY,
or it's JPY USD.
you can just pull up the FXY. Since it's going to be the easiest way to express that in trad.
Yeah, that's kind of a
Like 80.
That
I
thing
mean,
looks like it's gonna rip up to retest that. Like, see that low right there, Tucker? Back from 2017 or 2016.
this one.
Either there or that low just to the right of it.
Yeah.
Like there or yeah, right there. Like that region to me feels like it might not happen immediately, but like that's where it's headed ultimately.
Why the yen? Why would you ever trade the yen? There's no money to be made in that. Well, look, bucko, when a foreign currency is making a move that big, I promise there's money to be made.
Dude, that's when Tommy rips a bucko, that's when you know that's the signal. I love it.
Yeah, I could see. I think it'll take a little while, maybe. Like, where's the thing? Like, that feels right time wise. Well, that's a year. That might be too long. Shit. I feel like it's gonna take a few months, don't you, Tommy?
For what? Like
to get to 70s, 80s on the yen. Like,
yeah, I think it's probably like a summer thing.
oh, I think it's gonna take longer. Like, dude, summer, just on the chart. I mean, you'd have to go pretty vertical.
Yes.
You'd have to go pretty vertical.
Yes, you would. I think it's coming though. So you're probably gonna have Japan hiking at some point.
What do you make of the China trade? No, Tommy.
I'm just gonna be patient there.
Baba.
I'm gonna be patient with that. We'll see what equities on a broader scale do.
Yeah.
Not like the worst looking. I kind of feel like China's going to end up making concessions with the United States. I know the headlines this morning were the exact opposite, but yeah, we'll just have to see. I think I said it on Market Check like last week. My only like hesitation with the China trade was, what if this is basically an echo bubble for China before its super cycle, like a la the NASDAQ coming out of 2008. So that is, I still think the biggest risk for Chinese stocks, but it just depends on what U.S. equities want to do here over the next few weeks. I think it's a decent sized question mark at this point.
Oh man, Nvidia.
Yeah, man, I just think Nvidia is completely fried.
I mean, you probably get a bounce out of these Mag 7s here soon.
Again, it just kind of comes down to the VIX here, right? You're either breaking above 45, and in that case, like all bets are off.
The VIX futures, though.
Yeah. The VIX wicks are getting swept this year. I've been consistently saying that.
From what? From August?
Yeah, I don't think it's going to happen this time around, but there's a target on the back.
Somebody wanted Tesla and Sui side by side.
What is Tesla doing today? Actually, not that bad.
Down a little bit, but not terrible.
It's basically the ETH chart.
What were we comparing this to? I don't even know.
Yeah, that looks like Sonic before.
That's what it was. We were looking.
Yeah.
Sui could be worth playing a bounce on. I just think there's better risk reward in other coins.
Yeah, I mean, I see how it's like, yeah, this block right here is somewhat similar, but and how it was this, you know. But what is Sonic doing?
I still like this coin. Call me crazy.
You're crazy.
I still own some too. I don't think it looks bad at all.
It's been strong today. I mean, I think the market's still showing you its hand a bit as far as what coins are going to bounce the hardest.
And bro, Pepe up 5.5% today.
It's the
Like-
frogs. It's the farts.
Yeah.
It's
Mhm.
the XRP pretty strong today.
Is it?
Yeah.
Let's do.
I don't think it's a coincidence either that we're seeing this crypto strength on a day where gold and silver are kind of nuking,
Yeah.
honestly.
It's really interesting to me that we've been trading so correlated with US equities for so many weeks, and now we've just completely decorrelated for really the last few days. And I
Yeah.
hope that just doesn't mean that we're lagging a dump, but
I don't think
I
so.
think we'll know
I mean,
soon.
it's happened before, you know, like I've talked about it in the past too. Like Bitcoin and crypto tend to front run the bottoms on equities, the same way they front run the tops. And as I was saying earlier in the show, like 2023, S&P pulled back, bounced, had a nice relief bounce. S&P and then rolled over and dropped another 8%. And Bitcoin had never made a new low and ended up going on like a 50% rip to the upside. So it's not something that we haven't seen before. Right? It's not something we haven't seen before. So not super surprising to me. But yeah, it's been like everyday equities puke, Bitcoin pukes before, during, after. We've been getting like the worst end of it. But it seems as if that's coming to an end, right? It seems as if, but don't want to speak too soon. But again, I mean, it just goes back like what's an asset class that's not really super affected by all this, what's going on right now? Pretty much Bitcoin and crypto, as crazy as it sounds. As crazy as it sounds. You know, people are going to start looking. Right, what can I put my money in that doesn't have to do with global trade wars, right? Like,
If we open up limit down tomorrow, or not tomorrow, but on Monday,
Yeah.
I don't think the crypto strength will hold.
I
yeah.
agree. Yeah.
I would think that we need to see some sort of relief out of equities as well. You know, the longer equities take to bounce, the harder it is for, Bitcoin and crypto to kind of hold up strong, with the rest of the markets puking. So I would agree with that as well. But
Well,
so
here's
far,
the
so
thing: the
good.
equity market never bottoms or tops on a Friday. It just doesn't happen. So I would think maybe we could set a little bear trap Monday, not limit down, right? But like slight gap down and then buy it. Hopefully, that would be the most ideal. But if we, like you said, Tommy, if we limit down on the S&P to like, if there's a 4 handle on Monday, that's a problem,
Yes, we would be. I think crypto would be about to giga nuke if that were the case. You'd probably have like some sort of bounce from the lows on Bitcoin, and then it would just like completely immolate, and that would not be good.
If you can get an equity gap down and buy on Monday though, that's fine. But yeah, equities never bottom and they never top on Friday. It doesn't happen.
I do think crypto catches up eventually. but locally, I think it's still to be debated.
Mhm.
That is a nasty looking chart, man. It looks like a shit coin.
That's
Honestly,
a crazy looking chart.
I wonder if we just get like a perfect retest of the 2022 sell off all time high.
48.
Or was that late 2021? I think that was 2021. Like, I
Yeah.
wonder if that ends up just being like the most obvious shove spot, you know?
I mean, just look what happens every time we see a puke like this, you know? And we're not going into a multi-year bear market.
– 1618, man.
4,900 on the S&P would be really nice, honestly. Crypto can hold up.
I think what I'm looking for early next week is a big bull crush.
Can we
Like
look
if
at the VIX
that-
quick, Tucker?
Huh?
Can we look at the VIX? There's a nice little gap on the VIX if you go to the lower time frame.
This one?
Yeah, maybe even go a little lower. Like, I think this needs to obviously settle down first, but I don't think that gap is safe.
Well, here's what I was looking at yesterday, which is why I was a little bit worried about the VIX was this,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And that next candle wasn't the top on the VIX, but the one after that was, which would imply this one would be, right? If, you know, solely one for one extrapolating, right? But yeah, that gap was a little bit concerning. You put in two big candles after that, right? So that should be today, but
You know, looking on the daily time frame, like if you remove the wicks from a closing basis, we'll see where today wraps up. We may actually close higher than we did back in August. You know,
yeah.
we'll see how today closes, obviously, but
Yeah. So
how
where
does
did it
Sol look today?
closed at 38.50? You gotta turn these wicks back on.
I don't know if you guys noticed this morning, but Sol Grayscale applied for a Solana ETF.
This morning?
I saw that.
Yes, the same morning that there's a huge unlock.
Oh, did they unlock this morning?
I think so.
Wasn't there like another unlock recently? And like, not much happened, or is this the big one?
What'd you say?
I thought wasn't there like another Sol unlock like a month ago?
Yes. VCs are getting paid.
Yeah.
Full unlock a month ago, April. In March there was, yeah. Probably
Maybe
this.
they sold into that.
Probably that.
Really hoping for an exit pump on Sol so I can short it again.
I mean, dude, Sol just, it looks like it wants, you know, at least. It's just droopy, unfortunately. I think, I mean, it kind of looks worse than ETH, honestly.
Can you do me a favor, Tucker? Go way back to Sol's first cycle. See that little region right there, though, in May, June, July, August for Sol?
This?
It's possible we're in like some version of that, though. If crypto is going to get a ripper out of here.
I mean, that would be great.
Well, yeah, I'm just saying, like, it looks really bad right now. But, like, if they can kind of hold that area, like hold 100. I mean,
Yeah.
all that was accomplished during QT. So I also think it's probably pertinent to recognize that it doesn't make a ton of sense to consider. It depends how you want to define a cycle, right? A little weird to consider like an economic cycle over before we transition from QT to QE, right? So if we are heading towards that transition, we should be heading into easier monetary policy, which of course would benefit risk assets, something like SOL. So obviously there's a lot of work to be done on this, and it looks super heavy right now. But from a cyclical perspective, it's like, are we expecting a cycle to end before QT ends? I don't know if that really makes a ton of sense to me. This could just be one really like nasty mid-cycle pause across the board.
Yeah. I mean, if that's the case, you can't lose like 100, 110 even. Or else you're getting like 80.
Yeah.
But
That thing's fried.
oh,
Fried, bro.
I know.
Exit bounce. Then I mean, I don't even want to say where I think it's going.
Say it.
I'm not going to.
We talked last night, Max. I talked to him last night about it.
My gut's telling me he thinks we're going like $50, but
No, I might have to bring back our bet from 2023.
Oh man.
Yeah, that would be not good. That'd be really not good. Can we look at like Sol BTC and Sol ETH?
Wait, who's gonna tell him? Who's gonna tell him?
Oh no. Oh no. That thing looks, dude, that looks like it's about to pull the ETH BTC pattern. And by the way, we're not just saying that now. We were saying that while we were in the middle of that range, that was distributive. So
yeah.
I don't want to hear anybody saying that we're just piling in on the Sol FUD. Nope. The whole time we were like, this looks awfully distributive.
Well, if it would do this and then do this, right?
That'd be awesome
You
too.
already did it.
No, I don't.
I think you're right, though. It could definitely give you that exit pump on the Sol BTC pair, but I'm personally just not interested in touching Sol for anything other than shorts this year.
Dude, I can't believe what they did to the ETH BTC chart, man. That is insane. Tucker, that dead cap bounce, so that the Trump pump on the Sol BTC pair might have been that move right there on ETH BTC.
I know. Because
I mean, it certainly looks like it's trying to play out quicker than what ETH BTC has done.
yeah, because this took a while. Or wait, how long did ETH BTC? From the first side of the bounce.
The amazing thing with this is that like so many people memed that Sol BTC could recreate ETH BTC that it happened.
Yeah.
Mimetically painting the charts.
How does Sol ETH look, Tucker? Because I think it was just kind of floating on a trend line. I haven't checked it in a while, though.
How does Sol be? What did you say?
Sol ETH. There was like a diagonal trend line from the lows that looked like it was trying to hold.
Yeah.
I don't know if I had it in log or not.
I'm sure you did.
Weird looking chart. Kind of heavy looking chart, honestly. But also could just be doing the Bitcoin dominance, grind up forever pattern.
It certainly could be. But yeah, we should look at that actually. Oh my god.
Yeah, I don't know where this is going to top.
It's going to top the day that QT ends, man. That's what it's going to be.
I actually could see this going all the way back to sweep those highs, Tucker.
What is 70 something? 72?
Yes.
Which would probably imply ETH BTC doing a full cyclical retrace back to its bear market low.
Mm-hmm.
which means I probably lost my bet with Tommy, but we still have time.
Still got
A lot of time.
A lot of time. But if Bitcoin dominance goes to 73 to 75%, can you pull up an ETH BTC chart right below it, Tucker?
Below.
You could just put it right below it, so like the timeline's up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or you can manually do it, I guess.
Man.
Oh, you're talking about. I see what you're
Yeah, just for the time. I mean, you basically have it lined up, right? But
no.
you have to do the compare option. This won't work because you opened a separate chart.
You're right. All right.
Yeah, because this to me, new pain.
New pain.
Always new pain, brother.
All right.
Because if Bitcoin dominance goes up to those highs, then ETH BTC is probably taking out the 2020 lows, honestly, which is absolute crime.
Taking out the 20. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that level.
Jesus Christ.
Probably. I mean, if Bitcoin dominance doesn't, then we're probably good. But they're completely inverse of one another. You know, I think it's a pretty reasonable deduction. It's like,
Yeah.
I still can't believe that ETH BTC chart, man. Even like the ETH BTC bears are I feel like they're almost like, huh. We were super bearish and we were still wrong on where it would bounce. Like, it's just.
Yeah. I mean, you're for sure getting that level if you get 70s on Bitcoin dominance. You're for sure getting.
For sure. And I don't know if I have a firm opinion on if Bitcoin dominance actually does that. Like, we'll see when it gets back up to that wick that we thought was a blow off. We'll see if it just sweeps that and then we're good. But literally looks like ETH filed for bankruptcy, man.
Yeah.
I do think you see Bitcoin dominance top this year, at least.
This year. It's April. I hope so.
Yeah.
I don't know what it will mean for like USD prices, but I do think you will finally see it top. I think the tricky thing with me when I look at Bitcoin dominance is like I invert it and I put it on log, and it's just I don't know if it's going to like it should in theory hold those lows maybe after like sweeping them.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's probably like becoming a base case at this point. I mean, it kind of looks like BNB, right? In 2021.
Yeah, I could see that. That just doesn't look like a chart that I would want to fade right there. Not here. Maybe you'd look for like, if there was volume on it, you'd maybe look for like a point of control within the middle of that consolidation from 2020 through 2021. But oof. I don't know. We'll have to see. I think the best case would be like sweeping that wick and then moving back up from this view.
Sweeping what? 73?
No.
You're talking about
that wick. I think that would be your best case right here, would be sweeping that wick and then having a quick rotation higher. But until that happens, I don't know. Looks really strong.
Yeah, it does. Are equities bouncing at all?
I mean, they're not just going straight down anymore.
They're not bouncing, bro.
Not yet.
They're not bouncing.
I don't know about that.
Looks like they're gearing up for another move, honestly.
God, look at these sessions, bro. That's insane.
I think you're just seeing a lot of people offloading any risk on their books right now because they're terrified of what's going to happen Monday.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see why we would have like a crazy bottom today or anything. There's just no reason at all. It'd probably be like middle of next week, if anything.
What are the circuit breaker thresholds? I thought it was like 20%.
7%.
No. It's not 20. It's not 20.
It's 7.
7% in a day.
That's it, bro.
Dude, it's not crypto.
Bro, that's pretty crazy. 7? I mean, yeah, we haven't done that. Yeah. We're not even close to that. We went down 3.
No, but you have to do it from the open price. I think it would be the gap down would be included in that, right?
Oh, you're saying, I see.
In a day. Yeah. I mean, at one point we were at like 6 on the NASDAQ.
We're at 5. Is it on the NASDAQ or is it on anything or is it on the S&P?
I think it's on
It's on
index.
anything. No, it's on anything. Individuals can get halted. I'm sure there's been some individual stocks that have gotten halted today.
5. I mean, they're getting close. You'd have to make new lows though.
Dude, to see the index get halted is a totally different thing than an individual company. Like, think about what that actually implies. If the index, which is the basket, is down 7%, that means there's a lot of companies in there that are down 2 or 3 times that. You know,
Yeah.
Individuals get halted all the time. Every single day, there's halts.
What did Nvidia do on the gap down? Nvidia gap 9 and it didn't get halted. Is that real?
I guess.
Which
No,
did?
Nvidia dropped 9 from the. Well,
I don't
guess.
think Nvidia got halted.
No, it didn't. But I'm saying it dropped 9 if you include the gap. It's down 7.7 right now, pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, I think Nvidia's cooked as well on a higher time frame.
ARC got halted. That doesn't surprise me. 8 down 7 right now. Yeah.
What is
Jeez.
ARC doing right now?
So here it is. So there's 3 circuit breaker halts right here. So level 1, a 7% drop from the prior day's S&P 500 closing price triggers a 15-minute trading halt.
Mm-hmm.
Level 2, a 13% drop from the prior day's S&P 500 closing price triggers another 15-minute trading halt. Level 3, a 20% drop from the S&P 500's closing price halts trading for a remainder of the trading day. So level 1 is a 7% drop from the prior day's S&P 500 closing price.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Hmm.
So I wonder if they did halt Nvidia for 15 minutes. I guess you can't tell, but yeah.
Man, it looks so bad.
Didn't sweep the wick yet.
Yeah, don't invert that.
I know. I'm going to.
It's basically the yen.
Oof.
Basically the yen.
Yep.
Yeah, actually it is.
Where'd all that carry trade liquidity go?
Probably 75, bro.
We'll see what happens when it takes out that low, man. Like that should be the spot. I think that's down like 40%. That wick would be a 40% pullback or something close to that.
I mean, it feels like maybe you get like this.
That'd be so bad.
I know to go get this one.
Oh gosh. I hate that there's a gap right below that bottom line too, Tucker.
Oh, this one.
Yeah.
Maybe that's your bottoming box.
Yeah. Here's the thing. If NVIDIA goes down there, I think Bitcoin probably goes like upper 70s. But we'll see if the strength can continue. I mean, look, am I crazy to think that at some point you're going to get a big equities bounce? You know, like, do we ever, besides COVID, really go straight down? Even
No.
during the GFC, you get these big bounces, right? 20, 30% bounces that just get sold off into. But are we really suggesting we're just going to see like everything completely waterfall?
If Bitcoin loses mid-70s, I think it will waterfall.
Oh, goody.
Oh, goody. Yeah, something like that for NVIDIA, but volatility's still sticky.
Dude, look at the VIX, man. Oh my gosh. I'm just still in awe over how Bitcoin's holding up today. Honestly, it's incredible.
Makes me really not sure what to think.
It's either telling us one of two things, which are obvious. Either equities are getting close to a bottom where they're going to bounce and Bitcoin's going to put in a nice relief rally. We'll see where it goes. Or we gap down Monday and pack it up.
I mean, I think we gapped on Monday, but
I could see futures like opening red and then we actually like grind higher first half of the week. But I don't know. VIX is at 40 and Bitcoin's holding range lows at 82.8. I'll take that any day. But also it's like what do we realistically think is going to happen with the VIX here? Maybe put the wicks back on. Do we blow out next week and take out that 65 level?
possibly.
And if we did, I think it would probably lead to a huge VIX crush after that. I don't think we're going to see some like GFC 30 days, you know, it's going to take a month to sell back off. But maybe these tariffs are way worse than I'm giving them credit for, you know?
Yeah.
If we get a headline that it's just GameStop bidding Bitcoin, we're gonna dump.
Oh,
Yeah,
for sure.
For
sure we are.
100%.
Yeah.
Or
That
MSTR or both.
That would not be good.
But who's bidding Bitcoin right now, Tommy? Is it Coinbase? Like, I assume they'd be going through Coinbase, right?
I don't even know who's bidding Bitcoin. I haven't looked too deep at it.
Is anyone bidding Bitcoin or are people just not selling Bitcoin?
Some of it's Bitfinex. I think some of it's Binance. Probably some Bybit as well. Burgers are selling. There's a Coinbase discount right now. What does MicroStrategy look like?
Good question.
Doesn't look horrible. It looks vulnerable though.
Yeah, that really does not look the best, does it?
No.
Wonder if MSTR would be at all affected by that yen carry unwind.
Why do you think it would be affected?
Just because it's kind of been a big beneficiary of excess liquidity.
Yeah. Mm.
Bond market raised the chance of the June cut. I'm gonna watch this May percentage though.
Now
It's
I'm terrified
dropping.
that GameStop is bidding Bitcoin. I'm not gonna lie. Now I'm scared.
The May chances for a cut have already dropped 10%. It's at 30.
Yeah, we'll see about that. I don't know if I believe it.
Yeah.
Honestly. All right. I think that's the end of the show, guys. That's really close. All right. Here's the deal. I'm not going to do the crazy shield today. It's not the day for it. Equities are in free fall. Everybody stay safe. If you want to check it out, link in the bio down below. Support BB. Give yourself the best trading tools in the industry, BB Terminal. If you want to join us in a more intimate setting, check out the premium Discord package as well. We do 3.5 hours a day of private live conference calls with Q&A, chart requests, screen sharing, the whole 9 yards, guys. So check that out. Join us somewhere. Stay on top of these markets. Give yourself the best chance. Surround yourself with a great team of guys and a great community. Stay safe out there. Let's hope Bitcoin can hold up through the weekend. I'm enjoying the relative strength right now. And at a minimum, before you guys go, please do us the solid. Hit that like button, drop a comment, and we will see you Monday for another episode of Market Check. Everybody have a great weekend. Stay safe and take care.